Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyapadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jai Gaura Premanande. Haribol. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing a quick reading today because I have a home program to attend, and so it's just going to be very short. We had Bhakti C tuned in, but he left, and wait a minute. Somehow he was in the waiting room again. Let's see here. All right, Bo, Bhakti C, are you here?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm here.
Bo, thanks for tuning in. I saw you were here and then you were like kicked out or something.
Yeah, I lost connection for a second.
Oh, glad you're here, Prabhuji. It's just going to be very quick today.
Okay.
I'm getting picked up here soon, and going to Columbus and
Sweet.
running hither and thither.
Right.
So we'll just, get a verse or two and anything you want to share or anything, we'll just see how it goes here.
Sweet. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So, I'm just going to dive in here with the invocation, and then we're going to start with Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 21. 1:10:21. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantastoya Badrani Vidhunoti Sahritsatam Nashtaprayeshva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Rabhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna. 1:10:21. Savai kilak yam purusha paratano ya eka asira vishesha atmani agre gunebhyo jagaratmanishvare nimilatatman nishi saptashaktishu. They said, here he is, the original personality of Godhead as we definitely remember him. He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge as if sleeping at night, their energy suspended. Purport. There are two types of dissolution in the manifested cosmos. At the end of every 4,320,000,000 solar years, when Brahma, the Lord of one particular universe, goes to sleep, there is one annihilation. And at the end of Lord Brahma's life, which takes place at the end of Brahma's 100 years of age, in our calculation, at the end of 8,640,000,000 times 30 times 12 times 100 solar years. There is complete annihilation of the entire universe, and in both the periods, both the material energy called the Mahat Tattva and the marginal energy called Jiva Tattva merge in the person of the Supreme Lord. The living beings remain asleep within the body of the Lord until there is another creation of the material world. And that is the way of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material manifestation. The material creation is affected by the interaction of the three modes of material nature set in action by the Lord. And therefore it is said here that the Lord existed before the modes of material nature were set in motion. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that only Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, existed before the creation, and there was no Brahma, Shiva, or other demigods. Vishnu means the Mahavishnu, who is lying in the causal ocean. By his breathing only, all the universes are generated in seeds and gradually develop into gigantic forms with innumerable planets within each and every universe. The seeds of universes develop into gigantic forms in the way seeds of a banyan tree develop into numberless banyan trees. This Mahavishnu is the plenary portion of the Lord Sri Krishna, who is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead Govinda, whose plenary portion is the Mahavishnu. All the Brahmas, the heads of the universes, live only for the period of his exhaling, after the universes are generated from the pores of his transcendental body. Brahma Samhita 558. Thus, Govinda, or Lord Krishna, is the cause of Mahavishnu also. The ladies talking about this Vedic truth must have heard it from authoritative sources. An authoritative source is the only means of knowing about transcendental subject matter definitely. There is no alternative. The merging of the living beings into the body of Mahavishnu takes place automatically at the end of Brahma's 100 years. But that does not mean that the individual living being loses his identity. The identity is there, and as soon as there is another creation by the supreme will of the Lord, all the sleeping, inactive living beings are again let loose to begin their activities in the continuation of past different spheres of life. It is called Saptothita Nyaya, or awakening from sleep and again engaging in one's respective continuous duty. When a man is asleep at night, he forgets himself, what he is, what his duty is, and everything of his waking state. But as soon as he awakens from slumber, he remembers all that he has to do and thus engages himself again in his prescribed activities. The living beings also remain merged in the body of Mahavishnu during the period of annihilation. But as soon as there is another creation, they arise to take up their unfinished work. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 8:18-20. The Lord existed before the creative energy was set in action. The Lord is not a product of the material energy. His body is completely spiritual, and there is no difference between his body and himself. Before creation, the Lord remained in his abode, which is absolute and one. Text 22. Eva bhuyo nija virya choditam swajiva mayam prakritim shashurikshatim anamarupadmani rupanamani vidhit samano nusasara shastrakrit. The personality of Godhead, again desiring to give names and forms to his parts and parcels, the living entities, placed them under the guidance of material nature. By his own potency, material nature is empowered to recreate. Purport. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord. They are of two varieties, namely Nitya Mukta and Nitya Buddha. The Nitya Muktas are eternally liberated souls, and they are eternally engaged in the reciprocation of transcendental loving service with the Lord in his eternal abode, beyond the manifested mundane creations. But the Nitya Buddha, or eternally conditioned souls, are entrusted to his external energy, Maya, for rectification of their rebellious attitude toward the Supreme Father. Nitya Buddhas are eternally forgetful of their relation with the Lord as parts and parcels. They are bewildered by the illusory energy as products of matter, and thus they are very busy in making plans in the material world for becoming happy. They go on merely with plans, but by the will of the Lord, both the plan makers and the plans are annihilated at the end of a certain period, as above mentioned. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita as follows. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all the living entities merge into my nature, and again, when the time of creation is ripe, I begin creation by the agency of my external energy. Bhagavad Gita 9:7. The word bhuyaha indicates again and again. That is to say, the process of creation, maintenance, and annihilation is going on perpetually by the external energy of the Lord. He is the cause of everything, but the living beings, who are constitutionally the parts and parcels of the Lord, and are forgetful of the sweet relation, are given a chance again to get rid of the clutches of the external energy, and to revive his, the living being's, consciousness. The revealed scriptures are also created by the Lord. Vedic literatures are the guiding directions for the conditioned souls so they can get free from the repetition of creation and annihilation of the material world and the material body. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, "This created world and material energy are under my control. Under the influence of Prakriti, automatically they are created again and again. This is done by me through the agency of my external energy." Actually, the spiritual spark living entities have no material names or forms. But in order to fulfill their desire to lord it over the material energy of material forms and names, they are given a chance for such false enjoyment, and at the same time they are given a chance to understand the real position through the revealed scriptures. The foolish and forgetful living being is always busy with false forms and false names. Modern nationalism is the culmination of such false names and false forms. Men are mad after false name and form. The form of body obtained under certain conditions is taken up as factual. And the name also taken bewilders the conditioned soul into misusing the energy in the name of so many isms. The scriptures, however, supply the clue for understanding the real position, but men are reluctant to take lessons from the scriptures created by the Lord for different places and times. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is the guiding principle for all human beings, but by the spell of material energy, they do not take care to carry out the programs for life in terms of the Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study of knowledge for one who has thoroughly understood the principles of the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, people have no taste for them, and therefore they are under the clutches of Maya for repetition of birth and death. Okay, text 23. Sava oyam yat padamatra surayo Jitendriya nirjita matarishvanaha Pashanti bhakti yut kalita malatmana Nanvesha satvam parimarshtu marhati. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. Purport. As it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord can be known in his real nature by dint of pure devotional service only. So it is stated here that only the great devotees of the Lord who are able to clear the mind of all material dust by rigid devotional service can experience the Lord as he is. Jitendriya means one who has full control over the senses. The senses are active parts of the body and their activities cannot be stopped. The artificial means of the yogic processes to make the senses inactive has proved to be abject failure, even in the case of great yogis like Vishvamitra Muni. Vishvamitra Muni controlled the senses by yogic trance, but when he happened to meet Menaka, a heavenly society woman, he became a victim of sex and the artificial way of controlling the senses failed. But in the case of a pure devotee, the senses are not at all artificially stopped from doing anything. They are given different good engagements. When the senses are engaged in more attractive activities, there's no chance of their being attracted by any inferior engagements. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the senses can be controlled only by better engagements. Devotional service necessitates purifying the senses or engaging them in the activities of devotional service. Devotional service is not inaction. Everything done in the service of the Lord becomes at once purified by its material nature. Anything done in the service of the Lord becomes at once purified of its material nature. The material conception is due to ignorance only. There is nothing beyond Vasudeva. The Vasudeva conception gradually develops in the heart of the learned after a prolonged acceleration of the receptive organs. But the process ends in the knowledge of accepting Vasudeva as all in all. In the case of devotional service, this very same method is accepted from the very beginning, and by the grace of the Lord, all factual knowledge becomes revealed in the heart of a devotee due to dictation by the Lord from within. Therefore, controlling the senses by devotional service is the only and easiest means. All right, Krishna.
All right, Krishna.
You want to share anything, Prabhuji?
Just the interesting sense in the purport. Uh, the Vasudev conception gradually develops in the heart of the learned after a prolonged acceleration of the receptive organs. That
Right.
receptive organs was very interesting.
Yes.
I assume it's just talking about, having your senses engaged in devotional service.
Right. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't really expand on it too much.
Interesting.
Yeah. Acceleration of the receptive organs. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I can't really say more than what's said. I also, when I heard it, I was thinking of like the ears and receiving.
Yeah,
And I
right.
was thinking of like engaging them, but yeah, I can't
Yeah.
speak authoritatively.
Mm-hmm. Jai Prabhupada.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do have to go. I'm getting calls that I'm ignoring that I should
Hmm.
answer,
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, no problem.
and I'm gonna be leaving very soon, and I gotta get myself together and get more
Yeah,
dressed and all that stuff. And
cool.
so forgive me for the short one, but I'm grateful for your association here.
Yeah, I'm grateful for yours too. I'll listen to some other ones too that I haven't heard yet when I missed the past few days.
Sweet. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe I'll do another one later if I can.
Okay,
Just play it
cool.
by ear, but at least we did something better than nothing.
That's right.
Jai, Hare Krishna.
All right.
All
Yeah, thanks so
glories to
much
Srila
again.
Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Vanchakalpataru.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha anantakoti vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hari bol. Thank you so much, Hare
Mhm.
Krishna.
Yes, thank you again and again.
Hari bol.